interruption, but let's get back into it. I think it'll be a pretty straightforward message today, but I definitely want you guys to um, hold out hope for a better day and hold reverence for change, because there has been a lot of absurdity about your beauty, and I don't think that there's anything more you can say about it. I think that you I think that you should just, cut whatever losses you have incurred and try to move on with your life, because the people who are lingering around you, they're just obsessed with your life, your happiness, and your beauty as a privilege that has allotted you comfort and passion and whatever else they feel that whatever else advantage that is feel like they feel like it's had in your life. I think that you are moving into calmer cycles where you are more balanced about what you perceive as positive and negative in this slander. If they slandered you, that means they're jealous, okay? You are a trendsetter, you're popping, you're hot shit, and you're everybody's favorite. And a lot of people are seeing your home with a good man, and they see that you guys are bonded together and that this is destined. So a lot of them, they will try to disrupt this union with instability. This instability in your partnerships are people where we are burdened by our previous friendship, our previous connection with them. These are like these are a lot of economic and personal relationships that are changing, because while your heart was involved in the matter, they could not evolve because of your beauty, and that's not a logic you can rationalize anymore. There's no more deductive reasoning. There's no more talk therapies. All there is enforcement, and if they can't enforce that, then they're also getting left behind as well. Okay. um Let me finish my notes up. Okay, my iPad died. Let me finish my notes up. Let me see if the 2% will let me get through these notes. But I think that this is a cycle of compassion, because they truly do not have intimacy. And so that's why they're attached to you. This paternal attachment issue that they have with your partners, an obsession with your partners, and it's literally out of the thin air or just based upon your beauty. And you're like, we're not intimate, we're not friends. Even if you're fluid in your sexuality, you're not interested in these women. And they have been literally getting rejected, okay? And these are like women that cannot take rejection. And so they're making everybody unstable, because this has gotten to a point where they're literally doing anything to harm you, to try to destroy your home. Some of you guys, you've had marriages broke down. You've had deep and tenacious relationships where you may have even shared a home with these people. These relationships broke down because people literally, like women, literally became obsessed with your partner and started harassing them. Okay, if you've met these men in a social setting, in a shared network, in a club. They're, hello friends, welcome. These women literally start projecting your image, doing black magic, and binding themselves to you so that they can stay in your house. Like something that they're trying to do to bind themselves to you so that they can stay in your house and try to like keep benefiting from your privilege, or they'll try to keep, because you're so passionate and have so much happiness and abundance, they feel entitled to it in a way. And a lot of these men, they projecting trust issues onto you, commitment issues. um, a lot of them, they these are your past journeys with past options with men, or other romantic partners, where the relationships have truly broken down because they were really, really intensely passionate about you, but they were not able to release sensations of fear. The fire element, when out of balance, is extremely destructive, and some of these men became obsessively passionate about you to the point where it harmed you and themselves and may have even destroyed homes. This new partner, this good gentleman, could be there could be dips in their self esteem when they think about passionate experiences that you may have been sharing with your previous partners. And I think that it's, some people have a lot of varying opinions about sharing, talking to their current partners about their ex. this could literally be, very sensitive to discuss ex relationships. And I think that the green flag within you is that you don't have anything bad to say about your partners. Or even if there was conflict, they know that it was a pure love that represented devotion, that represented a sacred sexuality, that represented a tantric sex. So some of your new partner could be could be having moments where they are, um, they have a worry or a fear about your past relationships, or that you'll go back to your ex, or that you want to be with your ex still. And I think that when you express like memories or fondness, or share their music or something like that, this might trigger insecurity within them. But I think that you are a very mature intimacy, and a lot of you, if these relationships with people that you were once with, I think that you definitely shared home with these people. You felt at home with these people. There were bonds, maybe there were commitments, contracts, friendship. And I definitely think your heart was involved in the matter. Your releasing of third parties or past options is not the fact that you didn't care about them or love them, or that you weren't passionate about them too. But what happens with the Queen of Wands is that the relationships, you lose intimacy and passion for them. Those do not reflect who you are today. So if they're worried about you being intimate or passionate for someone else from your past, it's literally not a representation. Like, you're literally not experiencing that intimacy that you once had with those people. You've outgrown those intimacies. You've outgrown those people. They may have done something destructive, toxic, or absurd that made you lose interest, that made you lose intimacy, made you lose a passion for them. So ensure, like, use words of affirmation to assure your partner, your good gent or your good woman, your good lady, that you are not really interested in anybody else. Okay. And that will help them, preserve their self-esteem in the matter, because a lot of them, they're very destructive and could be having anger issues as well. I think that, these third parties or ex-friends, these are women that are totally out of control about your beauty. Catch the first live, okay? But this is a destruction by fire. I think that there was so much chaos around your happiness and pleasure that you've been experiencing with your romantic partner, and women have been totally outrageous. Like, this just seems surreal, because they are just not like, they're not like shown any dedication whatsoever. They're not shown any dedication whatsoever. Okay. And they just get triggered the more your person puts up boundaries with them. They keep reinforcing your position. They keep saying, I choose this person. They keep ignoring them. They're not engaged with them. Like, this is crazy and wild, because it represents their harassment. If your good partner is putting up so many so many strong boundaries, and literally with an affirmative rejection. I'm hearing a very, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very clear rejection. And they will still like try to send your partners offers, or do something with the trickery to bind themselves to you and your partner, so that they can stay in your house, or so that your partner could feel bad for them in a way, or that they touch their heart, like, oh, my divine feminine is so great and so privileged and so established. Let me offer a gift to the bum and the bird. And that will literally bind these people in a karmic contract and create a challenge in your home. Okay? This is the black magic and the shape-shifting energy, where they project your image, or they do something out of desperation, which projecting your image, dressing up as you, is literally desperation. Like, you're not shown any dedication. So why are you like, you can't take rejection. Like, y'all, I think that you're finding your balance in this cycle, and you need to give this time, because y'all, these people, they have not been making sense whatsoever. They're not showing any dedication. It'd be a clear rejection, and they can't accept it. And this is why it's even more burdensome, because now they're binded to us in our house. like keep coming around in our house to talk to us, and we're just like, I'm not intimate with you. I don't know you. Like, this is crazy, Fran. Like, it's literally just a person who's obsessed with your body and like how it's having sex and intimacy, obsessed with your happiness in your home, and brings you home, like what brings you pleasure, and like all of the utilities that provide you satisfaction within your home. And they have literally just been sitting back, like I'm hearing women have literally just been sitting, following your trends because like they're obsessed with you, and they try to like, that's how they bind themselves to your home, by like attaching to your namesake, literally becoming obsessed with you making your dreams real, and growing embittered. Some of them have even been, committing crimes because of your beauty and watching you. Like, they literally become obsessed with you and bind themselves so that they can like stay, so that they can like mirror your home, or try to have their home considered, you know, as a similar like and kind by your partner. It becomes so strange, okay? It's really because this is a true rejection that they're not able to accept, okay? And you are the passion that gets ignited, and it's because of your beauty. And sometimes your relationships break down because your beauty inspires so much passion, right? Like, what man doesn't love a beautiful woman? You're a siren, and you're irresistible. And and a lot of you guys could be fluid as well. So you have a really harmonious, peaceful relationship with your person. And some of them, they come around to pretend to be fluid, and they're literally, nowhere near, like, you know what I'm saying? They're like literally nowhere near. Um, okay, I don't know who this is, friend. Yeah, they're like, yeah, um, they're like, they're like black magic. You are the prettiest person. Thank you. LOL. Um, yeah. Oh, thank you. Oh my God, y'all. Okay. Okay, thank you. LOL. Um, but so yeah, I just feel like my heart tender. I can't do the rejection with you, babe. LOL. I think that really, I think that you and your person, because you guys are fluid, you're very tender. You know what I'm saying? You're very deep and tenacious in your relationship. And also with this Aquarius energy as well, your relationships, um, they're also, like, they, they result in you thinking, functioning, relating differently, and they hate to see your masculine's influence all over you, okay? And this makes people extremely jealous and unsafe, and they just keep coming around, um with an obsession, and the obsession is what makes it lacks, is why it's not intimate, is because it's like one-sided. I don't know you, and they're just like there's like discord and conflict, and this discord and conflict where you've had to break these people free from a delusional rapport has created instability in your home as well, okay? But the damage have been done, Fran. I think that, romantic partners where they couldn't defend from external threats, they're literally, you passed on them, or, you moved on with your life. Third parties, they had third parties, you just saw them as a narcissist anyway. Um, if these are just women who are obsessed with you, it's literally something that they try to deny reality about. And um, a lot of it is just obsession, because they'll like sit there and follow all your trends, but it's really like their way of trying to be in a power struggle and competition. And their hidden motivation is to also to try to relate to your partner. What they're doing is that they'll literally try to like mirror your behavior, because they know that it's a reflection of you becoming fully embodied through the activation of your divine masculine. So they'll mirror your behavior to try to appeal to your masculine, as if their influence was also, their influence also activated them, but they were not activated by divine masculine energy, okay? They got rejected, truthfully, and they have not been able to accept rejection. And we're just sitting here waiting for you to leave. And these people refuse to leave toxic situations and dynamics, and it's because they're trying to block your home, or trying to block a financial opportunity that you have. And like, you know what relationships these are, because the people who are protecting you have already started crossing this threshold. People who are still not able to engage but want to mirror your behavior and follow all your trends, those are the ones that are just like getting put out of business. They're not going to be paid attention to. But the people who like are protecting you are have crowned and gloried you, truthfully. And there's a lot of sorrow around this home that has all this rewards and recognition. Oh, the lights. You're blinded by the action. Okay, Hollywood. Like, no, you're a fucking clown just chasing a camera, photo op. This is someone's real life. And your relationships are extremely deep and tenacious, and they come around with the slander and discord and conflict because they literally cannot inspire a passion in any other way. These people, I'm hearing women, are literally so unstable, coming around your house, watching your good man who clearly rejected them. Okay? Um, and this is like, an obsessed stalker. I'm hearing women, an obsessed stalker that have been following you along your different journeys of your romantic partners and have become obsessed with every single one of your romantic partners. So that just goes to show you that they don't have a real connection to them. They're just obsessed with how it brings you happiness and how they're passionate about you because of your beauty, okay? Their hidden motivations have been mysterious for coming around you, or they've been mysterious for, it's been mysterious as to why they were projecting your image. But that was their secret competition to try to replace your home and relationship. They literally just have been obsessed with your sanctuary. And it's like, why would you be chasing someone else's home, sanctuary, and romantic partner, and you're literally getting rejected? They're not intimate and passionate about you. So it's literally their desire for your wealth and your security. It's not because they're having an intimate experience. And we're just burdened by the grief. Like, we're just burdened that you guys binded yourselves to our home. We don't talk to you. We're just taking you to court. A lot of them have watched a good gent put up a lot of boundaries and respect you thoroughly. Some of you guys, you were with this person all day yesterday or something like that. You were with this person all day for Valentine's Day. And this is a romantic love. This is a cheerful love. And you don't have to worry about those, past struggles where women became obsessed with your home and binded themselves to your home to try to steal heart. Okay, they tried to steal heart as an art. Okay, they were not truly an artist. They were not truly creative. They were not truly activated by divine feminine energy. So those facades always fall away. Okay, that's not your happiness. That's just you obsessed with someone else's happiness because you're obsessed with their body and what kind of experience their body is having navigating the world and how it's so different than yours. But their burdens are not your problem to bear. Okay. um, and they just saw somebody put up a lot of big boundaries about you. Okay, they put up a lot of big boundaries about you. Some of these relationships have been getting recovered after this instability of the slander and libel. There's been a lot of harsh communication, but I think that you're finally getting to the root of some of these like deep-seated insecurities and putting your family back together. But some of you, this means a totally dividing of a family, that have been negatively binding to you for money, clout, like this Aquarius, this Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. We're definitely passing on the identity thieves. Like, we're not interested in an identity thief that's scary and spooky. Like, why will we be intimate with somebody who is hollow? Why will we, like, how can we form an intimacy with someone who doesn't exist? They don't have their own music, they don't have their own outfit ideas, their body doesn't look like yours, and someone keeps asserting your position. Someone keeps putting up boundaries with them, and they just are like, oh, can't take rejection. Like, the answer is no. How would that, like, that's so painful. Like, to be asking someone for love and they just keep telling you no. Yo. Why you never check your DMs? LOL. LOL. YouTube stab worthy. Is it possible that you're even more beautiful since the last time we said? Oh, thank you so much, friend. I really appreciate that. Thank you. That's so good. LOL. Um, you know, and this is a chat about beauty. So I know that if you guys caught the first half of the live, before we got cut off, it's not easy being pretty because of these projections that will be so volatile, and it's somebody who doesn't look like you or someone that's not considered as beautiful. So we have to bear the burden of their deep insecurity, like partner in you, and you're not having an intimate experience. How sad is that? Someone keeps telling you no. They've already made their decision. They've already started crossing the legal threshold. They've already committed and shown a dedication. They've already devoted themselves to you. They know that their binding with you leads to a home, procreation, great fortune, and they're just binded to you as a shadow attachment of someone who can't take no, or someone who literally just has to, their binding is a copying of everything that you're doing because they lost their soul and spirit and they lost their personal identity. How can we be intimate with someone who doesn't have an identity, platonically or romantically? How, help me explain. How can we be intimate with someone who doesn't have their own style? Like, for example, mainstream media, celebrities like Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Kelly Rowland. Like, I'm not interested in your work anymore because all you do is dress up as Renaissance. That's not interesting. That's not something that I could truly relate to because you've lost your personal identity. That's not a companionship. That's not a companion. That's a binding to my heart space because you don't have it. That's a binding to my home out of an obsession about what brings me pleasure and comfort. That's focus on what brings you pleasure and comfort. How can I be intimate with someone who's obsessed with me? That's not intimacy, that's a mental illness. That's a shadow attachment, that's crime. That's strange. And it's because, like, and a lot of you, they just mirror you because they're so insecure about your beauty. Like I was saying in the first half, it's like you'll be trying to talk to them and have a normal conversation, and then you can see them scanning over your face and body and finding, a comparison to draw. Well, yes, your beauty is superior because you didn't need plastic surgery or you didn't need all these different enhancements. And yeah, after restoring your hair, you got really good hair, really fast growing hair. I get it from my mama. Yeah, my mama hair and my sister's hair draping thick as hell down our back. And we don't need any privilege in our bloodline to have beautiful hair. And even with restoration of alopecia, you're still rejected. You're still rejected. You're not able to take no for an answer. So there's been a lot of harsh communication to free these people and say, hey, we're not, it's a no. Okay, it's a no. And people who have already started protecting you have already shown a dedication and they're growing even more enraged. The more your partners double down on here. You thought people was about to let up after this beef or this discord, after this harsh communication. Your real ones doubled down and put up lots of boundaries with these other relationships to emphasize your superior position in their life. You're just someone can't who's sitting around with anxieties about your physical appearance and can't seem to go prioritize your time, your effort, your energy on something that could be serving you. Overly concerned about my body and my looks does not serve you. It only makes us lose intimacy for you. It makes us lose attraction for you. Mainstream media, the all the investors, all the men that they chase after are disillusioned with them. You might have, 300 million clout chasers, but you ain't got the high value men that just rejected you. Not because of how you look, but because you lost your personal identity. This is the problema, señorita. Find your own life, find your own expression. Stop trying to mimic after your authorities all the time as well. It's not always an abuse of authority, it's your paternal attachment issue, and you not being able to form a structure on your own. You not being able to attract your own masculine energy. You not being able to form a logic, structure, and support. It's not someone else's problem. You just keep looking at them with a lack and projecting onto why their experience could be better than yours. Maybe their experience is better than yours because they worked harder for it. Maybe their experience is better than yours because they communicate better than you. Maybe their experience is better than yours because they're fluid and they're not sitting up irrationally jealous of another woman. Maybe their experience is better than yours because that woman is not sitting up worrying about her physical appearance all the time. She's activated by divine masculine energy, giving birth to a book, baby, or business. That's the devotion, bitch. You're clearly rejected. Nobody devoted themselves to you. You cannot take rejection, and this is the problem. This be wild. They're so unstable. They can barely control themselves. Aquarius, a Scorpio, a Virgo, a Libra, a Sagittarius, women that are sitting around with plastic surgery. That's super spooky. Don't come next to me with that. Putting on my outfit, and I'm a natural. I don't got. We don't relate. Total opposites in these matters, and they just show they show their struggle so much. It's like it's embarrassing. I would be so embarrassed like that I had an uncontrollable instinctual response to another woman's beauty, and it got out of control. Like it's like that means you have an ancestral pattern where you can't control this instinctual response, a true karmic challenge, a repeated pattern of behavior where you have like literally lost your personal identity because of scarcity trauma. Like there really was not enough resources, and so you were considered to be very abundant. Like you have a sustainable abundance as well, and so you never run out of outfits. I never run out of hairstyles. I'm not dressing up as you. You're dressing up as me. Some of these men, they see it as like, you guys had bonds in the past. Okay, maybe you had bonds to some of these third parties or these women from the past or something like that. And I'm gonna wrap really soon, you guys. I'm gonna read the scripture because my phone is dying. And excuse me. Thank you so much. You're so pretty. Thank you, Kate. Cassie, your girl. Derek, you're very beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. Hi, King Ferg. What's up, y'all? Excuse me. I'm still getting over this cough left over from a um, a period where I just had a little cold. But I think that what was I saying? Like I just think that this situation has really gotten out of control, y'all. Like women that you don't know, where they're just following your trends, okay? But they have been interruptions. They've just been sitting around. They've been interruptions in your relationship, or they're trying to create a challenge for your house or something like that, okay? Or they're trying to create a challenge around a new opportunity. And you're just like, I'm not sure why this is a challenge because I'm not intimate with you. We're not kin. We're not related. We're not alike. And some of these men, they just, because they come around with such a heavy burden of begging, that they heart, they be like, oh my God, they're begging. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that must mean they really don't have other opportunity. That must mean there really is not enough masculine energy present. But there is masculine energy present. You're just not divine feminine. Divine feminine, likewise, activates divine masculine. If you're not receptive, then that's not our problem. These plastics or people, women who don't have good forms, they're projecting onto divine feminine. You know who a divine feminine is by her form. That's not a matter of opinion, that's a fact. And if your form is lacking and you're obsessed with someone's beauty, that's a personal matter. That's not a part of my experience. That's not someone else's responsibility. That is your burden. Stop begging when you're getting rejected. And some of these men are like, okay, look, I know, I feel for you, because if you're over here begging, then there must really be a desperation. There must really be, some kind of lack. And they'll be like, okay, if they're begging, then they must, need to be next to the divine feminine. They must be related in some type of way, right? Like something that they'll do, maybe even through a slander and libel, they'll make up a story to try to pretend like they're your family, or they'll do something to bind themselves to you. And it creates a whole entire contract where we have to consider, where we're impacted by their instability in a way, with the Four of Wands reversed, okay? And it's really them trying to destroy your home by fire. And it's because they're so angry and aggressive about you eliciting desire for sex, and they just are the ones that keep coming around to witness this intimate relationship, and they keep begging. And they keep, I'm hearing they'll share music, or they'll share, like they'll share some information, like they'll talk about something, and it'd be totally a shallow. It's like the shallow expressions are really like these volatile, immature projections. And it's like you are not having the deep and tenacious relationship, and that's very clear. Okay. But because they're begging, we're like, okay, we'll be generous, I guess. Like, what do you need? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some of y'all, they're asking for a threesome or something like that, and you're just like, you're not attracted, or you didn't approve, or they've done something harmful in the past, and you're just like, I'm not letting you touch me. Especially if they did something harmful in the past. Okay. Some you really just don't have passion for them, and they're just sitting there obsessed with their life, and you're like, I don't. What is eliciting all this instinctual responses? Like, what's getting you riled up like this? What's getting you over aroused about me? Like, I'm hearing women are really aroused by you because they're aroused by your heart. They're aroused by your arousal. And that's scary too, because that feels like sexual harassment, especially if you're in a movement practice, if you're in an aesthetic practice, if you're modeling, or you have to, like, you're sharing a space with women. There's like a lot of confusion about their fluidity or something like that. And some of them, they just keep harassing you, sexually harassing you at a dance studio, or sexually harassing you at work. And you're just like, I'm not into it. I'm not thinking about you like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're literally not interested in these people. Okay. And they keep coming around, like, they keep coming around projecting your image to try to, bind themselves to your home. And people, like, some people are saying that this was them trying to show their heart, or trying to, like, extend them compassion. And I think that they are. This is goodness, this is benevolence. But they have binded themselves to you and have been an obstacle around an opportunity. And these are really the most shallow expressions, projections, and it's clear that they're false. Like, some where they just, like, they're literally trying to project your image or project your home, mirroring your behavior, so that they can appear like they're the same type and kind, and so that your partners or people would, consider fellowshipping with them, when it's really you that they have the deep and tenacious relationships with, that they were attracted to. The reason why they're here is because of you. And they clearly respect you and give you the highest honor and show a lot of devotion. And there's women around who are like, maybe these were women that existed before you, maybe these were their exes, maybe you outgrew them. I'm hearing you outgrew their progress or something like that. You progressed more than these women, or you started doing better than them. You started talking about something that was more deep and tenacious, and you removed their obstacle of a spiritual system that didn't serve us, and replaced it with something that's more sustainable and abundant, that puts you in a leadership position, that makes you the most intimate, the most passionate, the most receptive, the most fertile with these partners, okay? And these are not even just romantic partners, this is your family, y'all, okay? And so people see, how passionate and loving and abundant your family is. And they're just like, they're just so desperately wishing that their home could be like yours. And that is like where, there's the threat to conform to their, as emotional insecurity for these people who, they don't have heart, they don't have art, they don't have a nice home, they don't have someone who has boundaries with them, and they don't have someone who has respect for them. Some of them, they have illegitimate children, they're not getting taken care of, they're so unhappy in their home as a baby mama or something like that, and they never really pursued their happiness before having children. And I think that that's what's really going to make you such a great mother as well. Oh, I hate you. Why do you hate me, Jose? But what if it's a forceful gimme and it's reciprocated? Um, what do you mean? If it's a forceful gimme, I don't know what that is. Hi, Slay Queen. Hi. Okay, what else? Does anyone know how to come out as bisexual? Girl, you don't come out as bisexual. You just start living your life, and you just bring your same gender partner home and say, "Hey, that's my friend." That's literally what I did. I brought my friend home. I said, "Mom, this is my friend." She was like, "My mom has never, like, if you're concerned about your parents, I think I'm a fluid person, but I'm a fluid person, but I'm mostly like romantically, I'm hetero romantic. Thank you so much, friend. That's so sweet. Um, I think that like the biggest challenge could be to be sharing this information with your family or or with your parents. And I was very lucky. My mom in my life, every time I've asked her for something, she's always given it to me. Every time I've told her something that was going on, my mom has never questioned me, if ands, gave me if ands or buts about anything. So when I told her, I think when I told her that I had a girlfriend in high school, that was the last time I had a girlfriend, for one. And it was literally, it doesn't mean anything. It was some bi-curious shit. But when my mom, I think it just happened on the phone. I think she overheard me arguing with my girlfriend, and once I had an argument with my girlfriend, I decided that I was not going to have a girlfriend ever again, because I don't believe in arguing with women. I think that's strange. But yeah, so I think she overheard it, and then okay, friends, my phone died. But I think that like these have been like some really like these have been some really immature projections, and they have been creating fights in your home or something like that. They could be creating fights, they could be making your partner feel unstable because you might have had to use some harsh communication that may have made them feel insecure about themselves, okay? But if they had, I'm like, some of you, if you've had to go through so many different extremes just to keep the home together, then it might not even be worth it to you anymore, okay? But I do think that you have a cheerful love here where this person inspires you to study and take care of yourself. So continue to study and take care of yourself, and don't get distracted by these birds who are just dressing up as you. Dressing up as you, copying you, means that they're not successful, okay? That means that they're not loved. That means that they don't have a spiritual purpose, okay? Um, and I think that your partner is just working to heal and to also release toxic projections about your beauty also. What do you do on your channel? Hi, hi fuckface. LOL. But I think that a lot of these are old flames. People, a lot of these women, especially if this person has stardom around them, the lights, the camera, and action, like, ooh, Hollywood. I'm getting that there's a big fight on national television with these people. And this person came in and told people to get out of your house. Y'all, Somebody came in with the highest boundary and respect and said, we're not going to entertain this ignorance no more. Like, I'm hearing that celebrities have been fighting with you and you're like a child or something like that, or you're literally just, I'm hearing like something where you're an individual or you stand alone, and there are like people who just are sitting around following your trends, groups and troops of people that have started doing something chaotic and ganging up on you, or to try to compete for your partner, and they just keep telling them no. Like, they're showed no dedication whatsoever, and they just keep doing things, like trying to send them information or something like that, and it be like the most shallow expressions. These people, their projections of your home, they fall short by such a distance. It's like whatever projects that they work on, and I think that also makes them feel, sorry for them as well, because your executions are so flawless and perfect. They do feel like you have unfair advantages, Fran. But that's, stop comparing me to that. Like, me having a nice life doesn't should not be like play a like should not determine what's going on with you. I think, you know what I'm saying. And somebody really, like, somebody, you might have had like a lot of these issues, and your romantic partners, with your romantic partners not having enough boundaries with friends, family, or just some women that were clearly obsessed with you, and you finally found a partner that was smart enough. Okay. And so this is definitely a cheerful love, and a love worth bragging about, because these ignorant shits that's been going on has been totally deadening and drying and surreal. It's like, you can't, some of these like third parties or disruptions have made you lose homes, quite literally made you lose jobs, lose security, lose relationships, because there's been harsh communication to break them free from a delusional conflict that they've had about your beauty. Stop trying to, this is not about anything else. We don't know each other, okay? um, you and your partner also could also be struggling about, struggling with chronic anger. But I'm hearing both of you guys have a past relationship trauma where you're not interested in the person anymore, you know, but you could just be really angry at yourself for getting traumatized by this person, okay, by an ex. Both of you guys, it's like coming into your cheerful love with each other have helped you recognize a pattern of violent behavior with an ex, is what I'm hearing, okay? A lot of these people are watching you get married, or they're watching someone show a lot of respect for you, ally with you to help you restore yourself. Um, and I think that the slander about you, it's about a previous version of yourself. So definitely refer to the previous states of existence. You have not always been this glowed up baddie, perhaps, and even still, you are still like this traumatized and disadvantaged person, could be. And there's a lot of harsh communication that you're receiving, but this harsh communication is the communication that you have channeled about the slander. They have totally disrespected you, and now they're seeing someone marry you and award you the highest honor. Okay, something that they were doing, I'm hearing, slandering or complaining or like dissenting, when they have been doing something absurd, or like doing, begging or violating, and they keep making these defense mechanisms to stop themselves from admitting the truth about it. Okay, but a lot of them, they just keep ignoring the previous states of existence. They keep saying, well, oh, look at you, you're so great now. And they're like, you're just like, look, this is what they have been saying about me. And your partners will literally blame you, because now it's like, now that you've evolved, you're considered to be like the like, you're considered to be like the superior beauty. But I don't think this is always was the fact of the matter. Okay, some of you guys have always been very beautiful, but you were a siren, and identifying with beauty was not something that you were prioritizing. Okay, um, I think that you're finally starting to get to the root cause of these traffickers, attackers, and harassers, and the truth is coming out. And so this slandering, this fighting, this discord and dissenting, you're literally proving that it's a one-sided conflict. Okay, this is not real. This is something that they made up about your beauty, and they got passionate and all riled up about your beauty because they saw you passionate about your partner. and didn't have anything. And so it was so scarce. They just started fighting, and started fighting and attacking and defensive about this person that you married or a person that you're about to marry, someone that has clearly devoted themselves to you. I'm hearing it's clear that this person think about you all day long. They think about your care all day long. They give to you all day long. They started putting people out your house for you. Okay, somebody came in and started putting these hoes out. Said they had to go. That's right. Thank you so much, Junie. You're so beautiful. What do you do from what it do from Texas? Are you in Texas too? I'm in Texas. What it do? Um, Hi, Stacy. Okay, but yeah, like something where they were trying to fight and rile all up, but then the truth came out about some type of theft or violent crime, something where they did something intentionally to make you take a loss, and we've been trying to like get to the root cause as to why they did this, and then the root cause was jealousy and envy about your beauty, and so this broke down a lot of relationships because that's that's an emotional division. That's not a logical one. Okay, that's not something that could be justified, and that's not something that can be defended. Okay. Sorry if I'm all over the place. Um, I um, I'm hungry as hell. LOL. I need to go get some food, so I'm like lightheaded. LOL. But yeah, I think that just let people let them know that all this harsh communication that they're receiving, in this matter, is really, this was really what they said about you. Okay, so they know that too, and so they have started putting people out of your house for you. Okay, friend, they started putting people out for you because they saw that the disrespect, the slander was so bad. I'm hearing that you were slandered very bad, and it was all a defense mechanism projecting that it was really an issue about your beauty. Okay. You guys might be at court, and some of you guys, if you don't have a witness, um, or a way to corroborate crimes, the loss will remain. I'm also hearing that some of you guys, there was a theft. If there was a theft, in a commercial property, in a retail space, they are not held liable for theft. Okay, if you left your possessions there. Okay, some of you guys cut your losses. There's no way to recover the losses. Okay, but I think that there was a way that you were justified in a way. There was a way that you were vindicated in this matter. Especially, it was like a cancellation through divine guidance. Lots of journeys with these people who were coming around following your trends, but something felt off about the situation. It was like they were all inspired and riled up about you, but you didn't know them, and you're like, why y'all so riled up about me? It's jealousy. Okay. The justice, in this matter, is that your vision is so big that you get the highest honor. You disillusion them not because of your beauty, but because of your deep and tenacious bonding. Okay, your fellowshipping is truly superior. Your beauty, that your fellowshipping is your beauty. That's what makes you beautiful. Happy Valentine's Day. Okay. I think that we extended our heart to these people and we have compassion for their struggle, but we can't justify why they were acting like this. Like, your man or something like that, your partner start putting them out. Okay, they got put out. Um, and I think that if you don't have proof, then just you still get a good outcome because somebody came in and married you and offered you the protection and security that you were looking for. And I think that you just grew a heightened awareness as well, or you could be getting a heightened awareness around health and safety. So I definitely think that you guys should follow Divas Can Manifest org. That's our secondary channel. We talk a lot about health and safety over there, especially if you guys, you had the burden of proof, and nobody showed up for you in this slander, is what I'm hearing. So that means that they were all bad. Okay, everybody in this work environment was so bad. Okay. Um, or they were just cowards, right? Or they just had too much sympathy. They showed an emotional weakness to somebody who was so unfortunate compared to you. I'm someone that was balding, or someone who had some big deformities or flaws. Okay. And I think the justice is also that you get to put them out of business. And I think that this is This is the justice because they were fighting so hard, to like, fighting so hard for money and high honor, and they were fighting so hard for attention, and ultimately they lost it all. Okay, everything, with your come up, with your glow up, with your rise, with your crowning and getting glory, with your marriage, you're putting bitches in a coffin with your marriage and your great fortune. You're like, oh, that petty theft from the past, we don't give a fuck about that shit. Oh, that little slander case that got thrown out, it's all good because we outshining you daily. We're taking everything from you. Everything that was lost is getting undone. You thought you were so aggressive and focused on the wrong things in life that you ultimately lost your personal identity, being so focused on someone else, and got outshined. Is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that you're really outshining bitches. You're more deep and more tenacious. You're more fun to be around as well. But you've been slandered, and and your partner also is enraged about everything because it's created so many unnecessary conflicts and tensions. Even celebrities who see you living your life and hate to see just a regular girl happy because they didn't need to go do all that extra shit to be happy. Okay. um going back to your a word about your partners, I think that you know both of you guys had options that you needed to release, and these other options from both of you. Okay, you both third parties on both sides, exes, past options, friends even, that are getting enraged seeing this devotion. Okay. um and they um you guys might need to like take a lot of space so that you don't take out your anger and instability about past trauma onto each other. Okay, because you have been slandered and there's been so much disrespect, but you need to not project those toxic expectations on this person who have shown you devotion, because they've already come into the situation aware of the matter and have already started protecting you. So don't project, and be respectful. Watch your mouth, because you could be getting angry because you are just getting triggered by where you were slandered, getting communication about how you were slandered. This communication, how they're, the way that they were disrespecting you was really how they felt about themselves. That's the dangerous projection, especially because they didn't know you. Okay. Your partner could also be getting triggered about your past options, like I was saying in the previous live, or earlier in this one. Just let them know that you are not passionate or intimate with those partners. You may have been in the past, but that version of yourself does not exist anymore. If you express about the past, that's you missing yourself, not them. Okay. And if you guys take a lot of space from each other, do not take space as rejection. They have already started crossing, so they will continue to cross. And just give it time. They promise you, and they know heavy consequences for breaking promises, especially with a light worker like you. Okay. God does not play about you, because especially in this situation, these women got out of control. Okay, they got out of control, and this is so fatal, watching them perish. They're literally going out of business. Like I'm hearing their degradation is you're witnessing right before we're witnessing it as we speak. Okay. um and I think that your deep and tenacious relationship had unblocked their heart. Okay. um and especially around this harsh communication, like, let them know that that was you communicating about people slandering you. Okay. But your life in the stars has not been easy. Your life in the stars has been filled with a lot of sorrow, because people come around and see your heart, see your art, see your home, and see your partner, and get obsessed with what you're passionate about, what you're happy with, and they will try to disrupt your relationships with their own volatile projections of your home. Okay, when they're really just a failure at life. They did not survive very well. They're going out of business as well. Some of you guys are you're taking over their business. I'm hearing a hostile takeover, and that's the justice. Especially if they thought they was getting away with some petty crime, what they took wasn't shit to what you received. Okay, what you have now is so much bigger than what you lost in this matter. Okay. um this is so painful because we do feel their heart space. We know that they're burdened by a lot of grief, especially the ones who attacked you. They are not doing well okay? You know, because they kept trying to deny it with slander, right? They were trying to talk all bad about you, but we were trying to figure out how we're trying to put two and two together. Like, how is your violating of, like, how is your crime and your harassment and me barely knowing that you exist real? How is this real? Okay, how is this real? A lot of some of these relationships that have started crossing this threshold, I think the biggest hardship in this matter is that there was a lot of division in the network, okay, or in communities. And, you know, we feel compassionate about them. We feel compassionate towards them, but they were rejected. It was like, especially romantic partners that chose you. I'm hearing everybody came around and chose you. And it was because they know that this in this previous state of existence, they might see you as having the privilege of beauty now. But in this previous state of existence, you were drowned. In this previous state of existence, you were an immature child. In this previous state of existence, this was not your fault. Okay, these people attacked you because they were envious of your home, your passion, and what brings you happiness, and also jealous of your travel. And so that was really scary, friend, and it's so painful because I'm hearing that I'm hearing that it was slander in the workplace or a lot of online communication, and people didn't know that these people were harassing you and stalking you behind the scenes, and so they tried to paint themselves as innocent to mislead people and to divide you and isolate you so that you don't have the support that you need. But recently, people have discerned these clout chasers. They discern these women as the omen, okay? The people who have lost their personal identity because of something magnificent that you have done. They're realizing that you were never the problem to begin with because people were just projecting onto your beauty from the jump, right? They made you to be the bad guy. But after experiencing the magnificence of your benevolence, they cannot deny the impact that you've had in the benevolent impact that you've had in their life. And the truth that you have brought into their life is worth more than 1,000 clout chasers with a BBL. Okay? This was really painful because this was a true violation of your rights and your pursuit of happiness. This was truly injustice. And if you had not survived this, some of you guys, this was literally a health and safety risk. And you are getting a notoriety, bitch, for surviving a destruction from a group of enemies that had a hidden motivation to follow your trends. Okay, they wanted to replace you. By following your trends, they were secretly in a competition to replace you, but nobody's intimate and passionate about them. That failed miserably. Nobody chose you. And you just keep dissenting and keep fighting and complaining. And we're just like, nobody chose you. You got rejected. Everybody's looking at you like you got rejected. You failed miserably. Okay? Um, and you've unblocked people's hearts with this benevolence. And if they had not experienced your magnificence, they would have never seen hope in their life. Something where you literally have been turning people around and putting them on the path to hope and giving this communication and whatever you do with a passion from your home has actually made people hate you a lot. And I'm so sad about that because they try to justify you're happy, you having the privilege of happiness, they said, oh, that was the reason why they attacked you. Okay, that was the reason why they stole your stuff or something like that. Um, because you were happy, but some of you were really disadvantaged. Maybe you just showed what you were happy about, you know, you dressed in your Sunday best on social media, and they didn't, and some of you guys could be sirens, traumatized, and these people didn't see that. All they saw was a beautiful home and a big heart. And that's also a big aspect of being a siren, is that we always love fully, okay? And so they became obsessed with your heart space and what you care about, what you're passionate about, and they got passionate about you being passionate. And they couldn't take rejection because nobody wanted to be intimate with somebody who doesn't exist and loses their personal identity, just someone that follows the trends. No, that's not who we, that's not our deep and tenacious friend that gets to sit at the, $1 billion table. You know, that's the person that we sell the products to. So go ahead, yeah, go watch my commercial and follow the trend and go buy the stuff. I sell the stuff, you buy the stuff. Big difference. Little bitch, you going out of business because the truth came out. So I think what I was saying before is like, this was truly an injustice, and this was really painful for everybody involved because we felt their deep grief. We're burdened by their grief and how this reflected truly their sorrow. For them to be doing this to you, that means that they were truly pitiful people. Okay. Um, but I think that, because you're beauty now, people are trying to negotiate or justify the crime. Okay. um, because they see that you're happy now. But I think that there has been so much damage that you could be, that you are, that you should try to recover, okay? Because you guys have lost time. You've lost. There's been harm to your physical body. There's been harm. There's been severe injury here from slander or people who started harassing you, okay? Women who could not take rejection. And even I think that the biggest rejection is not from the partner that they are so obsessed with. The biggest rejection is from you. Yeah. The biggest rejection is from you. They feel so, because you don't want to talk to them or be their friend, they feel that's even bigger rejection. Like they can't handle that, right? If this is your romantic partner or you're like not talking to them, they might perceive it as rejection. But let them know you're just taking space and you're off being happy about them. Okay. Um, but I think that this life and stardom, right? This rewarded home that you have, this renowned ass artwork, or these journeys and happiness that you have just in general, you could just feel like you're a regular person. And they feel they saw you as a regular person. Celebrities saw you as a person and felt like you had a privilege of happiness. I'm hearing the celebrities really tried to justify a crime because they saw a regular working class person or something like that happy, like something where they saw you happy, or they saw that you were already at court, okay, and they knew that could mean greater inheritance for you, and so they wanted to try to stop you from winning at court. um they lost them. Nobody chose them. And everything that you lost is getting returned to you. Just be patient. um I think that, in this matter, especially with you being so beautiful, I want to leave you on this one note, because I feel like I could be rambling around. Um, but I want to get my point across about this, is that if you guys are at court, really focus on how that this is not just a violation to you, that this is a racketeering, okay? That this could be a class action lawsuit, because you were probably not the only victim, okay? If they were just so accessible to working class people, getting offended getting offended by the majority working class population, then it's highly likely that there are other victims in this matter. And some of these people did not survive. And a lot of the victims were benevolent cause. And this, whatever is happening at court, was an intentional destruction of your life, drowned, okay? An intentional destruction to stop you from sharing the truth with people, because they didn't want people to know the truth, that they were obsessed with your happiness, your home, your heart, and your body. Now, that's a big division because your realities and lives are really different, okay? But like I said, address the previous states of existence. You were very disadvantaged, lacking opportunity, maybe not looking beautiful, not having a banging body, okay? Hi friends. Hello, hello, hello. Sir Mix-a-Lot. Hello, Corey. Hi, Ryan. Yeah, I think that, really focus on, the slander you're channeling in a retrospect. This information and communication that you're receiving about this hate that was spewed about you is in hindsight. And you might be happy and bossed up now, but you had to recover a lot and you're injured. Okay, post-traumatic stress stress disorder from an attack that was meant to destroy you. Okay, um but people chose you because of this benevolence that you like that they experienced, and they knew that it was because you survived this. So you're okay. Just try to watch your mouth, because you are communicating about how you were slandered. Okay, and so especially if you're showing up so beautiful now, people are like, wait, you can't be talking like that, you too pretty, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So just um hi boo, hello. No, I'm not, lol. Are you? I think that, the truth is, this is painful because it was so unjust, and that we know that there are other victims, and that this is a product of corruption, and this is your life in the stars as well. Though a lot of them had to deal with it as well. Okay, so it's just something that you need to adapt and adjust through. It's a part of the journey, honestly. And so if you want stardom, keep doing what you're doing. You'll keep learning, you'll keep adapting. But these women, I'm here, you have an ally that is helping you get the high honor, because there are a lot of people who follow your trends, but that's really their way to struggle for power or compete for your partner. They really don't want to honor you, and they know that you've been having trouble um, converting, is what I'm hearing, or you've been having an issue with this conflict, and there's been division where people were, before they got the truth about these harassers, you know, when people found out the truth, they were like, wait, we were so wrong about you. You were here doing something magnificent and benevolent. And now that we've experienced that, we can't, we have to have this spiritual conviction. You know what I'm saying? That this was so totally unfair to you. If you had not survived, they would have never got free. And so you are their everything. Okay? So don't think that your man or your partner is off thinking about them. They rejected them because they were the same people that wanted to take your life. Okay? And that's not the spiritual system that served them. You are. All right? I love you so much, you guys. Let's read the scripture for today. Do not worry about no other person. Okay? Don't worry about nothing else. Just take your space and just be peaceful. Okay, work on yourself. This person inspired you to do better for yourself. Inspired you to keep going after you were slandered in another network and started getting sexually harassed by them. Okay. Okay, what's the date? The 15th. Yeah, that's what I thought. Doesn't disappoint. Yeah, your man doesn't disappoint. That was with you all day. Okay. You will be rewarded for this. Your hope will not be disappointed. So don't think that they will not get away with this. They will get persecuted if that's what you want. You will get this story will be told, because this is not just a threat to justice for you, but a threat to justice everywhere. Because if there are slim few majority, especially if this involved a government scam, these government politicians or celebrities or people, the small percentage of people that hold the wealth and power, this was intentionally fucking up your perception of reality with the systemic oppression. Some of you, and I don't want to get so conspiracy on you, but some of you, you need to trust your felt experience. For others, someone has validated your felt experience, and this is the highest honor ever. So you will not be disappointed, baby, at all. Keep going. You have to adapt. You have to learn, okay? You will be rewarded for this. Your hope will not be disappointed. Proverbs 23 through 18. I know it might feel like there's a big obstacle in the way because there's so many people, following your trends and trying to distract you and your person with shallow projections of your image, but they always fall short in their delivery, and they always miss the mark, or they're like, what are you trying to fight about or talk about? We don't know you. And I think that they're even more angry. They get even more angry because you're rejecting them. Also, it's not about the man. It's about the fact that you didn't want to help them, or you didn't want to talk to them. You didn't want to teach them, and they just come around needing stuff all the time. Need to be taught. Need an outfit. Need something. They always need something. And like we were just like, okay, like we feel bad for them. If they were doing this, if they were committing crimes and harassing you, they were really not there. They were really shrinking, degrading, okay, degrading. Okay. Um, we've all been disappointed numerous times in our lives. The hard truth is that whenever we hope for something, we put ourselves at risk to be let down. We've all learned this lesson the hard way, too many times to not brace ourselves for disappointment and dreaming. But there is one hope that will never be lost. No matter how long we find ourselves waiting, or how distant the fulfillment may seem to us, when we put our faith in God, we will never be let down. We will someday clearly see the result of our belief in His coming kingdom. The truth, the trust we've placed in His promises will be rewarded, and our hearts will not be disappointed. Lord Jesus, thank you that you will fulfill my hope in you. I have been disappointed by many people and things in my life, but I know that you will not let me down. Thank you that my heart is safe with you. Oh my God, y'all, that's so beautiful. I'm gonna cry. Y'all, these Queen of Wands, these were friends, sisters, and they turned out to be crazy, obsessed people that were not really fellowshipping. They were just obsessed with your happiness and pleasure and body. And that was very disappointing also, and filled you with a lot of inner criticism and doubt. And I'm also getting that, your past relationships where you may have bonded with people, right? You may have shared a home with them. There may have been contracts, commitments, right? Marriage. Your heart was definitely involved in the matter, but you have been let down numerous times. But the beautiful thing about these, this, this new star in your life or this new opportunity is that you both have been, you're both passionate about this cause. You both are this, you're cut from the same cloth. You're the same. You have the same experiences. This is a soulmate or twin. And this ally has already given you a lot of honor. So if they've already started crossing that threshold with you, then I think that it's safe to say that they will keep their promises. If you feel that space is needed, or that you might feel discouraged at times, or you might worry if they will ever follow through, have find consolence in that. If they have already started making promises, breaking those promises will be very bad. Okay, they'll be very bad. Um, and they, I don't know. I just keep hearing them say we're not intimate about them. Okay, don't worry about no third party or something like that. It's like something where they know you survived something, and you have unblocked this person's heart space with like um with something, information that you've shared, something that you've done out of benevolence, and they know that they would have never got set free like this. They honor you. This is a cheerful love, or love worth celebrating. And I think there is the risk that you will be let down, but it's also not many options from here, friend. Okay, I think it's there are pathways and timelines that have already closed down. So just trust, okay, in His promises. Trust in your good gent's promises. They've already delivered for you, and they keep delivering for you. How they show you how much they cannot resist you by how they're always all over you. Okay. Um, LOL. I just think that you guys are burdened by these economic and emotional relationships, with people who are breaking down. We've had bonds with them too. We've had contracts with them too. These could be people that are getting fired or severed. You know what I'm saying? Going to prison. We might have had heart space there, but that doesn't exist. We might have had compassion for you, but that's our well-being. That's us being, that's us healing ourselves from this traumatic experience, but realizing at the same time that we're not intimate with them. Okay, they gotta go. They're just health and safety threats. Okay, thank you guys so much. Happy Sunday, fun day, sunrise sadhana, sunrise soul. And I'll see you guys for sadhana in March. And I'll see you guys for the exotic dancer Scrippa exit strategy masterclass over at Exo Felicia Nutrice for money manifestations, where I share with you guys exactly how I move my ass away from those crazy ass women at the club who are hideous and they don't have nothing else going on. Okay. LOL. So yeah, more information about that coming soon. I recently scheduled it for March 1st at 11:11 a.m. on live stream at Exo Felicia Nutrice. It's our free masterclass for money manifestations where you get to pop your collar and come sit with the Billionaires Club. Of course, like if you need to follow me on X. If you're not following me on X, you're not sitting with the Billionaires Club. We sit with the billionaires daily. Okay, the eagle's gonna come. The eagle's gonna fly, and that's just period. Ho. LOL. Hi Blake. Hi Blake. You okay, friend? That's not good. You alright? Your mom? LOL. Oh, somebody sent me $100. Thank you so much. What was that? I don't even know what that is. Is that $100 or what is that? Um, LOL. But yes, you guys, thank you so much. That is pretty much all I have for you guys today. So happy Sunday, and I think that you guys might have a risk. There is a risk of being let down, and I think that you just need to be passionate. You need to be balanced about the whole situation. I think it would be strange that they would let you down after making so many promises, because this is a very serious matter. But some of you guys, that this involves a great fortune and a big destiny. So it's already destined, friend. It's already destined. So there's nothing to negotiate. There's nothing to talk about. Like I said, this was a matter about your beauty, and this was the karmic challenge where there was no negotiating. There was no negotiating. You know, Theft. There was no negotiating the crime. Some of them they want to. Some of these people do want to confess, or they want to settle outside of court because they know that there's a real chance that they will lose a lot more. There will be a much more significant loss if we find them to be guilty. Okay. um, and I think that they're very just violent and aggressive, and I think that your person, this was the karmic challenge where your person was just like, no, you got to get out, or we're just going to send you to prison. We're just going to kill you or something. Like, so we're just going to get rid of them. I'm just kidding, friend. I think that you guys have found the solution. Some of them are confessing. Some of them are just getting severed. Some of them are going to prison. I think that you cannot comfortably, as this beautiful creature that you are, you don't. I think that it's hard. You have the right to defend yourself. So if they have been attacking like if they have been like bodily harm, and your man want to pop them, like let your man do that. But I think that you're truly this this natural child, and a lot of you guys, you might not have plastic surgery. You might love animals and people. And you don't profit. Okay, some of you guys might even run nonprofit organizations, and you're not someone who harms other people. So that's also the grief, is that they harmed you, and you were just a benevolent child. Is what I'm hearing. Okay. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying, friends. I think that, this situation has really been unfair to you. And I know that it is, you're happy now. I think that these are tears of happiness. But um, you can't believe that they did this, especially when your heart was always in the matter. That's the heart of the matter, friend. Is that this was about your beauty, and that's not something we can argue at court. Okay? I love you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one.